have an age difference. We have life differences.
This is how you should live your life.
I got the faith, because to get the faith...
Got it. Well, let's jump into this.
This is the Old School, New School podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Old School, New School podcast. I am Will Charles Egan. And as always...
Chris Meekins.
We're so glad that you're back here.
I'm thinking about, did you press the record button?
I did. I sometimes mid conversation I'll be like, did I press record? I did. I make extra sure.
Okay.
If you enjoy the video version of our podcast here on YouTube, if you're on YouTube, go ahead and please hit the subscribe button. There's a little link above Chris's head. It says subscribe here. We really do appreciate that. It helps us out if you hit the subscribe. Hit the like button if you are watching on YouTube. If you're just listening to us from wherever, because we see that map sometimes.
Yeah.
And there's people from like different continents that listen.
Yes.
Which is nuts to think about.
Which is crazy. I don't even know how they understand us. I mean, we don't speak Taiwanese.
I don't speak Belgian.
Guamanese.
Nobody speaks Belgian, actually. That's a fake language. So, today we wanted to talk about pride.
Well, at church,
yeah,
one of the pastors.
Yes. It's funny, we have that. One of the pastors.
Yeah, there's like
8.
Lots.
It's too many.
And was he like number 2? Was he the one that actually came here? He said this week that he came here with Randy. So
yeah.
He's been like...
He's an OG, as you would say. He was an original gangster. He was the worship guy for the first service of Bayside when they were in a school auditorium. Yeah.
And he came from Kentucky also, right?
Louisiana.
Okay.
I don't know if he's from Louisiana as well. He sounds like he could be.
I think he is.
Okay, that would make sense. But yeah, they
but
all
he's
have...
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning. They've all been together on this Bayside
And he's
thing.
really good. I mean, his job is not a teaching pastor.
Right. He did worship for like a long time. He was like the worship pastor.
Yeah.
Now he's just an elder.
It's like huge.
He's just a guy. He's
well,
cool.
but he also does all the freedom.
Yeah, well, so funny you say that. In the message today, at the very end, when he's talking about rebuking the spirit of pride, that's exactly what we did when I was with him when we did Fully Alive.
Oh, he was there?
He was there with our Fully Alive group, and that's literally exactly how it goes. The carpet time thing. This is, I don't know if I'm like breaching trust here, but you would speak to the actual spirit. And I remember him as he was saying it during the message today. I'm like, that's the exact same thing that we'd say when we did our men's retreat. It was really cool, because one of the roots that they, target there, they get literal with it, is that there are spirits that we kind of like invite into our own being, their lies that we tell ourselves. Okay. So like the spirit today that we wanted to discuss is pride. Pride, which is the thief of humility, if you will. And so if you rebuke that spirit of pride, you're casting it out, you're speaking to it in the spiritual, and then through teaching, you're getting it into your brain of what it looks like to not be prideful and to walk in humility. And when he spoke that, I was like, that reminds me exactly of Fully Live. And I still have the bracelet from that retreat that we did with him. But it was really cool.
So here's the first question I have for you, Pastor Will.
Right.
The first thing you hear from people, well, is it wrong for me to be proud of my children? Is it wrong for me to be proud of my work?
Very good question. You do have the best questions, right?
Well,
you're like the question master.
I know. It gets aggravating after a while. My boss at the fire station is like, quit asking questions. Just do what I tell you to do.
No, but you asked very poignant questions. Yeah. So to that, when it comes to pride, I think in English, there's different... English is funny because when you translate from like the original, whether it be ancient Hebrew or Greek or Aramaic that the languages were written in, sometimes there's more Greek words.
Okay.
Like love, we have one English word. There's like 8 Greek words for love.
Okay.
Different kinds of love. Vice versa, there can be one word for pride, but there's like 3 definitions of pride in English.
Okay.
So with pride, like there's having pride in your children. There's the sin of pride. There's Pride Month, right? There's there's all kinds of pride these days, depending on what your background
didn't
is.
Even enter my mind.
There's different kinds of pride, and we have different definitions for it. Being proud of your kids is not a sin. Let's just put that out there. To have pride in your family, it is like a familial, pride. You have this, you are very pleased with your kid or your brother, your sister, your coworker, your friend. I'm happy to see what you've done, who you are.
I'm proud of my house.
You're proud of the things you've done.
Yeah.
Right. Pride, the sin, is a turning away from God and taking control of something yourself.
How about this?
Okay.
I would think the pride that the Bible's talking about is when because we'll say my kids, I'm proud of my kids.
Yep.
But when that pride moves into I'm superior than you are
Right.
because of these kids,
Yes.
which I made.
Right. These are my kids.
These are my DNA.
Right.
Okay.
Look at what I did.
Yes.
I always looked at myself as the poster child of the family, and because I'm an only child, and a lot of the times,
the limited choice.
yeah, right. So I got all the attention. But I remember Mom would always like brag about me, and I always felt a little bit like, "What the heck, Mom?" Because it was like, "Look at what my son did," and it was for me the way I interpreted it. Hearing my mom brag about me to the clients in the salon chair was, it's like, "Look at what I did with my son," and I was like, "Let me be myself," having to get over that with my humility.
Yeah.
But it was always like familial pride can be like, if you take it too far, it's like look at what I did. These
Yeah.
are my kids.
Or when you meet someone and the first thing you talk to them is say, "Oh, hi, my name's Chris, and I have 4 kids. One is a doctor, by the way. The second one is
Precisely.
a highly paid lawyer.
Yes.
The third one is a firefighter chief in the fire department, and he is got all kinds of medals on it.
He's cool, though.
That's wrong.
Yeah.
That's like,
Yeah.
look at what I've done,
Right.
and I've produced.
Yeah, because you make it about yourself again. And so what we wanted to talk about is how to live humbly and, speak against that spirit of pride, because and this is, of course, this is just how God does this, but like I was listening to the message and I was like, this is exactly what I needed to hear. It was perfect to my personal situation, because right now I'm in a spot, us evangelical Christians, we love using the word season. I'm in a season of life where I want to be 3 steps ahead of where I am now. I feel like I need to be here because God forbid I shouldn't. Like, look at my friends, look at what they're doing, and I want to be here and I want to do all this. And I'm like telling myself, well, I'm out of the woods already. I'm good now. I can do those things. And then God will slap me upside the head and remind me, like, no, not yet, because there's
plenty more to do.
Yeah,
Will.
there's a lot more to do. There was a verse I know that we're going to be talking out of James here, but there's one that I wanted to read here out of 1 Peter.
Okay.
This is one of the personal verses I've been looking over for the past, couple of weeks now. This has been, I have this Christian meditation app called, I don't even know what it's called. That's hilarious. Abide. And they have, depending on the topic, you'll just click a random topic. Like, I'm feeling depressed or joyous or anxious or angry, whatever. You tap on it, it'll pop up a random meditation, and it'll be on a piece of scripture. And so I hit the random one for anxious, and that was 1 Peter chapter 5, which had been the verse that I've been going over and over and over and hearing over and over for the past couple of weeks. I'm like, of course. And so it's 1 Peter 5, and it is 6 and 7. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you, get this, at the proper time. That's the part that I struggle with. Casting all your anxiety upon him because he cares of you, because he cares for you. That was the part that I struggled with my personal walk of pride and humility, is the at the proper time. Humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand of God. And I have this vision in my head where I see myself like literally under God's hand. Like, he's putting his hand upon me, not like oppressing me and pushing me down, but he's like, stay here, don't move yet. Because here I am trying to like wiggle my way out between God's fingers and saying, I'm ready now. And God's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
Just a little bit longer.
Promise me.
Yes.
I promise you, you're not ready.
Right. Yeah. Believe me, you're not ready. And so I'm like having to come to terms with the fact that I need to remain in this place where I'm at, despite the fact that I feel, whether it be FOMO of seeing other people doing this, because I'm at the point in my life where all my friends are either getting married, having a kid, or running a marathon. One of those 3 things. I've done none of those things. I don't even want to run a marathon. And so I'm like, well, that leaves me with 2 other options. And I'm like, Where is she?
Wait a minute.
But-
I have to. Yeah,
yeah.
I have to go on a date.
Right. Not quite there yet. And so this is a part where I have to remain under God's hand and willingly stay there. Because as much as I want to like peek my head out and say, I'm ready, God's like, no, you're not. And it's like, fine. So that's where I wanted to start off with.
Well, and the thing about it is, that feeling that you have, it never goes away.
Right.
It never goes away.
Yeah.
You're never like at that, okay, I'm ready to go do this.
Yeah.
Because you're like, okay, we'll just say that you've got a job and you're a really successful gardener. Okay, God, I'm ready to start my own business.
Yeah.
God's like, well, you really aren't. Because at one, you don't have any money.
Right.
But two, but it's always, I think it's the lie of the enemy. It's like, we're kind of looking around every corner. I've got this thing. I had this one friend, and he would share with me as he was growing spiritually. He says, I'm always looking around. As soon as I get around the corner, I'm looking for the next corner and what's around that.
Yep.
And he spent his whole life doing that. And he ended up ruining where he was at.
Ruining the present.
Yeah. You're totally gone. You're like, oh, wait a minute. And we were talking about that right before the show tonight, this morning, this afternoon, wherever we are.
Who cares?
Of, you're like, okay, God, I would really like a ministry of this kind. It's like, well, how about the 25 guys that come and come every week to your Bible study?
Right.
It's like, these are the people that are in your life. Yeah. Enjoy this.
Yeah.
Because this is like good stuff.
Right.
But you're thinking, well, isn't there more? Isn't there more happiness with 30 guys? Isn't there even more happiness with 100 guys?
Oh, you need more.
Then I would be happy. Right. Or maybe it's, Pastor Randy, when we get to 12,000 people on a Sunday, then I'll be happy. And I'm not saying that, Randy. I'm saying if I was there.
Right.
Which is why I'm not there.
Right. Because, to your point here, this just popped off the page for me. This is James chapter 4, verse 10. Humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord, and he will exalt you. It's very similar to what I just read prior.
Yeah.
Humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord. So like right here, right now. Because God always talks, the Sermon on the Mount. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has enough to worry for itself. Don't dwell on the past. Be in the now. The presence of God is in the present moment. God is in the future, right? God is in the past, but God is with you in the present. God isn't with you in the future. You're only here. God is everywhere, right? Time is just a thing that is, he can hop up and around the linear timeline of humanity wherever he chooses.
He's not limited by time.
Exactly. But where he is with us is the only place we exist is in the present.
Right.
So be in the presence of the Lord. Humble yourselves in the presence of the Lord, and he will exalt you.
I'm having a teaching moment right here. I'm like, I wonder if God's telling me as we sit here today, quit fighting this whole car wash thing and all the anxiety with it. And why don't you just go in there and enjoy where you're at today, and that you've got some great people, you got a great manager, you get to meet people. Why are you hating on it?
Yeah.
I assume just because it's failing.
Right.
But, it's like, well, yeah, but guess what? It hasn't.
Right. I assume you're thinking about the next corner already.
Yeah.
Where can I sell
what
it?
What would happen? Okay, if we sell it, then which is really, if only. Years ago, I'd live in if only land. If only this happened. If only happened. But does that go to like in our notes? It says the chapter is a spiritual mirror revealing the war inside of us: pride, selfish desires. And is that selfish desires is like, oh, I want things to be like this, like we're just saying now, rather than being in the moment.
Yeah, well, the thinking of the future robs the present of its hope. Worry robs today of its power.
Yeah.
Again, there's this this guy, and if Bash, if you're listening, Pastor Philip Anthony Mitchell. He's this pastor that I listen to all the time. He's based out of Atlanta, and he has this incredible sermon that I listen to frequently. I go back to it all the time on worry and on anxiety. And he says that worrying robs today of its joy. It robs today. Worrying accomplishes nothing, right? Because what will the car wash sell faster if you sit and worry about it?
Or get mad about it.
Right. If you yell about the car wash, do you think that will expedite the process?
Yes.
Yeah. Pride. Get out of him. That's the pride that you have, the control that you feel like you need to exert, which really isn't control at all. You have no control over it.
You have no
So you give yourself the illusion of control by worrying about it.
So, okay, Lord, where are you in this? And help me how to bring glory to your name in the midst of this. Right?
In the midst of it. Even though I don't understand, I'm just going to take the next right step.
So, and let's hit that verse. We don't need to read the whole thing, do you? Read it at home.
We could. It's James 4, verse 1 through 3. I could read it. It's fine. What is the source of quarrels and conflicts among you? Is not the source of your pleasures that wage war in your members? Yeah. You lust and do not have, so you commit murder. And you are envious and cannot obtain, so you fight and quarrel. You do not have because you do not ask. You ask and do not receive because you ask with wrong motives, so that you may spend it on your pleasures. So I wish the car wash would sell, or I wish I was out of this season of my life. I wish I was out of the woods already, because that is based out of our pride speaking. If we were rooted in God, we would ask the desires of our heart that align with God.
Yeah.
But we're asking the desires of our heart that align with our pride. And
which would mean, okay, you're not a failure, or you're not this, or you're not successful.
Right.
He talked a little bit about fighting, where he was talking this morning about murder. Mm-hmm. And murder starts in your heart.
Yeah. Jesus says if you even are angry at your brother in your own heart, you have already committed murder at that point. And obviously it's not the same thing in the physical, but he's saying in the spiritual, murder starts with anger in the heart.
Right.
And it's about, again, Jesus is always concerned about your heart. Where is your heart? Whose is your heart? If your heart is drenched in rage and anger, that's sin already. You might not even murder them, but you've already sinned in your heart.
And so this section really goes to why do we fight with others so much? And the example we have is a dad always needing to be right in arguments. That's probably the easiest, or a mom.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you, or two ministry leaders, or someone at work, that were hired the same day, or whatever.
Because I said so. That's what dad and mom would always say. Because I said so.
And disagreements turn into division. And it's like, well, why is it that I feel that I have to win this argument?
Right.
Especially as a dad. Or we'll just say as someone that's been at the company longer that you work at. Why is it that when you say something, you have to be right?
Yeah. Because if we take that rabbit hole, God forbid that I should be seen as wrong, because then people will think of me as dumb. Yeah. And then that ruins my reputation, and people will dislike me.
Right. Or maybe I'm a bad father.
Right.
God forbid that. I mean, oh my gosh, I talk about it all the time about my teenagers. God forbid that someone would find out that I was a bad father.
Right.
And I wasn't. I just didn't know how to do it.
Does anyone?
But so you'd muscle through it, and you're like, well, this is the way my father raised me. Well, yeah, you hate your dad too.
So he probably didn't do it right, You think you're doing it right?
Yeah, and so it's called pride, and it's not. He had to. I don't know if it's too soon to talk about it, but where he took the
apple and the balloon. Yeah,
that's Newton law. So he had an apple, he throws it up there. Law of gravity is you throw something up, it's got to go down.
Yeah. Well, if you try and exalt yourself, you're just going to come crashing back down.
It's physics.
Yeah.
But then he took a balloon with helium,
which was hilarious.
Now
there's just a balloon in the rafters.
Yeah, out of a little box, and he says, now when I take this and I put it down, he put it all the way down to the ground, and buried it. We'll just say buried it.
Right.
And let go. it rose itself. And so
I think that's a beautiful image of what Jesus is, where with our own trying to climb the ladder like the Tower of Babel to try and reach God by our own strength, it crumbled and fell and led to death. By our own following the law, trying to get to God, we fell and crumbled to death. But by Jesus being brought down to the lowest place, buried, brought into the depths of death itself, he was exalted all the way to the heavens after the fact. So it's the opposite thing happens.
It's opposite world.
This is the kingdom of God's upside down.
It's opposite world.
Yeah.
Like when you give 10%, he takes the 90% and makes it go further.
Right. Yep. You serve with your time, suddenly have more time on your hands.
Right.
Where did this all come from?
What happened there?
Yeah. You give God what you have, and he will multiply the rest with whatever that looks like and whatever your situation is.
Well, you were raised in you went to Al-Anon.
Okay. Now everybody on the internet knows that. I was not doing drugs as a kid, for the record.
Al-Anon, that's not for... Now, if you were AA, we'd call you a drug addict.
Right.
We'd just say that.
Al-Anon is different.
But you went to Al-Anon, which is the same 12 steps as I went to AA, so we're both exposed here, okay?
Here we go.
But the first step is what? Admitted you're powerless is defeat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're powerless over your problem. Well, that's... My pride would say... Well, you're better than that. You can't admit defeat. You can't admit that there's something that's better than you because you have to be the best, right? But that's true.
And so Al-Anon would teach you have no control over these parents of yours or this person in your life or this partner or whoever. Al-Anon is nothing more than saying, I got some people in my life that I can't control.
Right.
And I'm trying to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's killing me. I'm not the one with the problem. They're the ones with the problem.
Yeah.
But I'm taking it on as my responsibility to do it. And you have to die to that whole, I'm never going to fix my neighbor, my pastor,
whoever it is that's in your life that needs to be, that you need to either separate from or needs to be delivered. The first step is admitting that you're powerless, which is you taking that control out of your hands and placing it into, Al-Anon says higher power, but into God's hands.
Right.
So you're casting your anxieties onto God. Isn't that funny how the Bible is always right?
Go figure.
Wow.
Go figure. All the things that they say about it.
Surrender.
Well, that goes down to here. It's like the path to God starts with surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And what's holding, like you just said, I mean, just to clarify it, what holds us back from surrender to God?
Well, a lot of it is, what's really unfortunate for somebody like myself is I didn't realize that there were things holding me back from surrender from God. Like earnestly trying to find deliverance from, this craziness in my head, these mental issues that I deal with, earnestly trying to solve that. What does it look like? What does it look like? How do I do it? How do I do it? Therein was the problem itself.
There.
I was trying to do it.
Right.
And that's not how it works. Which is hilarious.
And it was something that you had narrowed in on that probably isn't even a problem.
Right. It's not. It's actually hilarious how much of not a problem it is. It's so stupid. But that was me trying to fit. And I feel like the timing was for a reason. I mean, it's been months of me trying to figure out why. But it's because I was trying to figure it out on my own, as opposed to saying, God, what do you think? I'm gonna completely and utterly... because my problem was I have this laundry list of notes in my phone of like how to alleviate anxiety, whether it be a breathing exercise or whether it be pull yourself out of your head, breathing through the nose, radical redirect, worship music, even transitional activities between social events, journaling, blah, 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 blah. That was me trying to cope with my own anxieties, stressors and things. It literally got to a point where I said, I'm going to not even do any of those things.
No.
Because those are making them worse.
Yeah.
Which is scary because that's the anxiety itself.
Because you're still belly button gazing.
Right. Exactly. I'm trying to go, how do I? It's like, no. It's, who do you surrender it to?
Right.
It's God. You don't need to do any of those things if you surrender it to God, and you will find your deliverance there. Because the more and more I try and control whatever it looks like, anxiety, depression, fear, loathing, Las Vegas, whatever it is, then you got to just get to a point where you fall to your knees, you open your word, you surrender it. I mean, I was like in my room, I had my Bible, and I did some little like, this is my burden, and I'm going to place it on the altar, and I'm going to move away from it. And, in the physical, help me kind of walk that out in the spiritual, where I literally was just like, I'm going to put all of my burdens on the cross, on Jesus' shoulders, because his shoulders are much bigger than mine. And I'm going to lay it on the altar like Abraham did to Isaac. And I'm going to expect that whatever God does with this sacrifice on the altar, he will make it immeasurably better than I could ever do.
Yeah.
The,
I really.
Do you hear that?
Yeah. There you go. You got it. Oh, it went away and then it came back. Go do what you did again because it stopped in the middle of that.
Well, I just unplugged the headset. I hope it isn't the actual audio itself. Oh, jeez.
Okay. Well, let's just keep on going.
I hope I don't have to edit this all out. This will suck.
Then what would people think of us?
Oh, God forbid that my podcast should be bad and embarrassing because people will hate me.
And then it went away. Lord, we pray that you'd clear up the
fix this fuzz in Jesus' name. Cool.
So the example of pride is refusing to prayer or to admit sin.
Right.
So pride is really saying, I don't want to admit this to anybody.
Yeah.
And the problem with that is you've got this secret. So I'm meeting this with this guy. This friend of mine asked me, a young guy, said, "Hey, I want to deal with this sin in my life, and I'm going to get counseling." The counselor says you got to bring an accountability partner with you,
right?
Because somebody needs to hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
I know.
And so we went on Tuesday, and I just sat there, and they're like, I'm not even there.
Oh,
and
really?
I'm thinking this is like genius.
Yeah,
because what he's doing is this guy's got to have this conversation with me as a witness sitting there, and so somebody knows. Mm-hmm. And it's really, so you can't go, oh my gosh, I hope nobody knows.
Right.
Maybe just a counselor.
Yeah.
And so there's something about admitting your sin to someone trustworthy now, on the other hand.
Yeah.
You have to have someone.
Oh, yeah.
But pride is saying, if I just pretend like this is not here, then it's not here.
Then it grows. It's like mold. Mold festers in the darkness,
Okay.
Like people that leave their shower curtains closed and they turn off the lights and they close the bathroom door. That's how you have mold that grows in the shower, which is gross. But if you leave the curtains open, the lights on, the door open, you let the air flow, you let the world, you let the light into it, then you don't have all those things that fester and grow. And it seems counterintuitive because it's like, well, I need to get rid of this problem, so I'm going to bury it, right? Because you get rid of things by burying it. It's like, well, actually, kingdom of God's upside down. You got to bring it into the light.
If we pretend like it's not there, it's going to go away. No, you're going to go in for a shower, and it's going to be worse.
It's going to be worse.
Yeah.
You're going to slip and fall.
Which is why you get married, because your wife would never tolerate that. She'd go, well, go get in there and clean your shower.
Clean the shower because it's horrific.
Your shower stinks.
Yes, and I need that sometimes.
Again, what's great about being married is you're exposed. You can't hide 24/7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the things that you do hide will bubble up and come up 10 times angrier than if you had just initially brought it up.
Yeah.
Because I know everything about marriage, right, Chris?
Oh, you do. You do. I did stop in my tracks. I was going to tell him some ludicrous story right before we started, and I'm like, wait a minute, my wife's standing right here. Stop.
Yep.
Don't say another word.
Stop. Time out.
Everybody's looking at me. I'm like, no, my spirit just said stop.
Smart of you to listen to that.
But pride locks the door from the inside, like you said. Mm-hmm. But humility.
Yeah.
So we're talking about humility.
Mm-hmm.
It opens it.
Yep.
And so let's go down, start using the word humility for the rest of this podcast.
Okay. Switch it up. Talk about humility.
So how is it difficult being like as a writer? Mm-hmm. And you wrote your first book. It's not published, but it's written.
It's written, yeah.
There's a lot of pride in that because you can say, I wrote my book.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And so how do you think God deals with that with you
Mm-hmm.
to make sure? And again, I feel pretty good about myself because I wrote a
Right.
book,
Yeah.
so I'm proud of myself.
I'm the man. Yeah.
But it's when I'm like, well, yeah, go ahead and try it. It's not that easy, bro.
Right.
Right.
Yes. No, it's the humility part of it is recognizing for that instance in particular, that's like a question of everybody has unique giftings and everybody has potential and abilities. And that doesn't put me at a higher place than you just because I can and you
Right.
can't, we're just gifted differently. Right. That's what it is. Because some people, like football players, they are the greatest human beings on planet Earth because they get paid millions of dollars to throw a ball.
And since they've been third grade,
Yeah.
everybody's like, there's this kid that goes to one of my small groups. He's 16 years old. He looks more like a man than I do. I mean, he's got more facial hair. Well, everybody has more facial hair than me.
Well, sure, yeah.
But this kid, he's probably 6'1", he's probably 240, and he's cut.
Oh, really?
And
I
you're
wish.
like, you're gonna be something. His whole life is people like you're gonna be something. So he feels like he can get away with other things. And so all of a sudden one day he'll make a mistake, he'll get kicked out off the football team.
Right.
And then his identity is like,
What am I?
Wait a minute. Yeah. Don't you know who I am?
Right.
Yeah, I do.
Humility wouldn't have let him get kicked off the football team to begin with.
Right.
If he was properly, humble, then there wouldn't ever be the need to be, have arguments with your teammates, headbutting with the coach, whatever that looks like, knowing who you are and whose you are. That was what Jordan said during the message today. He would always remind his son when he dropped him off at school, remember who you are and whose you are, right? You're not all that, right? You're God's, and that's enough.
And you may be amazing, but
Right. But remember whose you are.
Yeah.
You're cool. Remember who you are.
Yeah.
But just remember whose you are.
So the next step that in verses 11 to 12 it was judging others is often pride in disguise. So what do you think of that?
Why do we judge others so quickly, do you think?
Isn't it amazing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's indicative.
I forget what it was this week, and I'm like, oh no, they're wrong. And my wife's like, how do you know? I'm like, because I know these.
'Cause I
These
know.
are things I know.
This is what I do.
It's like she's like, do you think that might be a little bit of pride going on there? And I'm like, oh no,
Definitely not.
not at all. And me, no.
Me, prideful? Never. That's
But
definitely
why do you
right.
think we judge so quickly?
Well, because especially the quicker we judge in a particular area, I think that's even more indicative of the problem itself. If I'm quick to judge on, physical appearance, it's like, I'm definitely bigger than him. What does that say about me? I need to humble myself and say, he is in a different place. He probably has different giftings. Just because I may look different than him doesn't make me better than him in everything, right? That's indicative of an area that we might be insecure about in ourselves, or an area of I know you said not to use the word pride this half of the podcast, but an area of pride that we need to humble in ourselves and give to God.
Well, and here's the other thing: is like we think that we've got some kind of because I'm going to gossip about him and make judge him.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'm now the one with the pride,
Right?
because I think I'm better than him, and here's the thing: God hates pride. He talked a little bit about that this morning. God hates pride more than you and I do. God's like, I hate that.
Yeah, he doesn't mess with that.
He'll take care of that.
Right.
My pastor used to always say, someone say, he's got too much pride. He's like, God will take care of that.
Oh yeah.
It's not our job to
Right.
fix your pride.
Yep. Yeah, God will. If God really hates pride as much as he says he does, which he does, you'll see how quickly he deals with it. If you ask to be humbled, oh man, you better be ready.
Yeah.
That's like the pray for the prayer of patience. That's like the most dangerous prayer. I remember there was this one time at work where we had this team where every week we would meet and we'd pray for like prayer requests and things. It was super awesome. And I remember, and I hadn't heard this yet, so I was like, I I just need some patience. If you guys just pray for patience. And they were like, are you sure? Like, what do you mean? And they're like, you never heard that like the most dangerous prayer to pray for is patience? Because the Lord will definitely show you patience this week. And I'm like, oh, okay. I never knew that. And so they prayed, give him patience. And I mean, holy cow, was my patience tested that week.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And the same could be said for pride.
Yeah.
Like, Lord, show me pride, don't ask to be, test my patience, but like, Lord, give me humility, and he will show you humility.
Well, here's the thing. When I see somebody and then I'm like, oh, they're all prideful, usually it's my pride.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this, why I hate that? Because it kind of reminds me of me.
Yeah, right.
Not that anybody knows.
No.
And that's why we judge people quickly. And it's like, God, I hate that. Well, it's because you hate it in yourself.
Because you hate yeah.
Yeah. And so to turn it around and go, Lord, why does that guy walking around like he's, the king of everybody?
Right.
Why does that bother me much? Oh, because I want to be him.
So I want to be him.
I want to be him.
Yes.
And I think I'm better than him, and I deserve it. Wah, wah, wah.
See,
right?
That's when you ask to be given humility, God will point that out. And that sucks.
But that's okay.
But that's
You're like,
good.
You go, oh,
you actually need that.
okay, I'm sorry, Lord. I do want to do that, and why should I be jealous about him? Because the truth is, oh, wait a minute. It's like this guy, this realtor up in Ohio. I mean, his name was everywhere, and especially in the city that I lived in. I mean, his name was everywhere. And this friend of mine, it drove him nuts.
Yeah.
And it bothered me too.
Yeah, of course.
But it bothered him more, so he's more of a sinner than I am.
Of course.
But God kind of showed me, it's like, oh, he's worked hard for that.
Oh, yeah.
He's worked hard to put his name everywhere, and that everyone thinks of him when they think of real estate in this city. And the problem was that I didn't want to work as hard as he did.
Ooh. Yeah. Uh-huh. You wanted to just sit around,
I
smoke
wanted
a cigar.
to just call me because I'm freaking awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, don't you understand?
Let the leads come to me.
Yes. Don't you know who I am?
Because I'm Chris Meekins.
Don't
right.
you know who I am?
Yeah.
And it could even be even in the small things.
Yeah.
Why doesn't anybody ever ask me to pray at church? I don't know.
I want to be like him who prays for people at church.
Why can't I be like Jordan up there? He's guy's hilarious.
Oh, he's great.
He's
so
hilarious.
Good. The mothball story is throwing him in the attic. It's hilarious.
It's so funny. And but then he was
expert. He's clearly done it for years.
Pulled it in, and you're like, okay, he's got me. And so why can't I be him? Well, because he's spent the last 20 years dedicated to being prepared to share the message.
You know where he was? He was under God's hand for that entire time. And God said, at the appointed time, once you are finished with the work, the good work that I've prepared for you under my hand, remaining in this place, then I will exalt you. The balloon pressed down under the hand. I will exalt you to these high heights only after you've, I don't want to say earned it, maybe earned it, deserved it. You've shown that you're ready for it.
You're understood in your own life.
Yes. Yeah. You've proved your worth.
Because at the beginning he goes, if you want to go through something, teach on humility, get prepared for humility, and all week long you'll be humbled.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And that's what he talked about. He had these really cool stories.
Yeah.
But, it's like, I'm jealous. And so God's got to no, Chris, you need to be humbled. Like that guy worked for that.
Oh, yeah. And he earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So let's wrap this up with making plans with God. So life is short. Don't plan without God.
Yeah.
How do we balance planning with trusting God? So not Will's best thinking.
Right.
Which is, we know that's your problem for the last 3 months.
My best thinking sucks.
Has been the problem.
The best I could do is no better than the worst that God could do. That's one of my favorite proverbs.
How did say that again?
The best that I could do is no better than the worst that God could do. Obviously, God doesn't do bad things or doesn't do things wrong. It's a proverbial statement, but the greatest the greatest wisdom of man is no better than the lowest folly of God, which is, it seems contradictory, but it's so true, because I am incapable of managing my own life properly, is essentially what that is saying. There's a proverb here. I believe it's Proverbs, it's 16.
Yeah.
Proverbs 16, where is it? Here it is. It says, the mind of a man plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps. So to answer your question, how do we balance planning with trusting God? The mind of a man plans the way, but the Lord directs his steps. So through prayer, petition, asking God, what should I do? Where should I go? The Lord will reveal those things, and you can plan them out, right? You can plan where it is that you want to go. Again, I would recommend aligning yourself with God prior to even planning where you want to go, so you are walking down the correct path. And if you are planning those things, and if you're stewarding what you have well, He will establish your steps. And sometimes it'll be in little ways that you'll never even recognize. Sometimes it'll be in great big miracles, great leaps and bounds. If I couldn't have done this on my own, this is only by the grace of God that God aligned these things to happen in this certain way, total coincidence. So I would say the planning and because then some people get caught and it's like, well, how much of it is me and how much of it is God? It's like, hey, it's okay. Just give everything to God and you'll be okay.
Or humble yourself to a friend and say, hey, I'm going in this direction.
Yeah.
I know that this is what I want to do. And I just need some advice because I have no clue what to do. Right?
Seek wise counsel.
Yeah. I mean, and that's what humility is saying,
right.
Now, you don't have to listen to someone that you're like, I'm pretty sure they're wrong.
Right.
But there's a place where it's like, I can't do this on my own.
It's fine. We shouldn't, actually. We shouldn't do things on our own. It's best if you do them with other people. I mean, there's a time and place to be alone with God and whatnot, and, in the secret place, if you will, being ready before God will exalt you. But yeah, making plans, you got to ask God to come into the plan and ask wiser people to come into the plan as well.
Okay, I'm going to go philosophical.
Ooh, all
Why
right.
do you think we think like God's the last step? Is like, well, we'll wait for, I have this plan. And why do you think we're so afraid to say, God, I'm going to ask you, the creator of the universe, okay, that put the whole DNA thing together, okay? And, I mean, I was thinking about it today. Like, the other day, there was like a little wind in the living room, the air conditioner was on, and I felt this little hair on my arm, touched my arm. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how sensitive my skin is. Right. Yet, I can walk out in the cold weather, it keeps rain out, I can punch it, but yet it's so sensitive. How did that work? I'm so brilliant that I could, I can't even figure that out.
Right.
Yet I'm afraid to ask God to give me a plan.
Right.
And then wait for him.
Yeah. God, I mean, you literally, that's, I think, the power of the testimony is you listen to anybody's story of God moving. God is infinitely better than any of us. You'll just hear it from any Christian who's walked for a certain number of years or has had some crazy, testimony. God is infinitely better at anointing steps than I am. With that in mind, why not go to God first? I think part of it is just all we know in Western society is like the whole grind set. You got to wake up at 4 a.m. and get to work.
You're a self-made man.
Right. I'm going to have my own business. People, it's so funny. I talk to people on the phones for a living. It's funny how many people will say like, oh, like we started a business. Like I have my own business. It's just like this term that people use because it's my business. Yeah. I am self-made. Whereas it's like you're part of an MLM. It's not your own business. You're a part of an MLM. Like
what's MLM?
Multi-level market. Like you still work for somebody.
Oh yeah.
But the idea is that it's my business.
Yeah.
So this is my business. This is my car washing business, or this is my insurance business, or this is my whatever. Everybody wants it to be, this is my thing. Right. God forbid.
There is no thing.
Right. One, there isn't a thing to begin with.
Yeah.
And God forbid, too, that you should invite God first. First step should be seek the Lord. Above all else, seek the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added unto you. Everything, all of your needs will be added unto you. So yeah, why not seek God first?
So to kind of wrap this up, so we'll go back to humility.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't be afraid of it.
No, we should invite it, as scary as
In
it
fact,
is.
your generation, I mean, you like, that's the whole thing. You want authentic,
Yeah.
and you want humble people that are like, oh yeah, I kind of fell ass backwards into this thing.
Well, a lot
right?
of my generation doesn't want humble people. My generation likes the influencer, the celebrity, the
Really?
big, the hot shot. Oh yeah, we all want to be like the cool guy who does this and does that, who has this, has that, right? We don't want the humble guy. Nobody wants to be humble. It's that's why it's countercultural, right? It's to be humble, to go and say,
Okay.
actually, you don't have it all figured out, and you should ask somebody else and show them your vulnerability, that you actually need help with something. That's like, whoa.
But real humility is like, yeah, I do have all this stuff, but it took a lot of work from a group of people, and
Yeah.
I got,
We had a team. It's like when somebody says, like, I worked on this big project and I did all this, whereas it's like, actually, there was like 30 people behind me. I was just the spearhead, which, yeah, sure, you were the spearhead of the project, but you didn't. You all did it,
So then there's also this thing that I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
People say, so how did this all work out? How did you end up this and that? And I'd say, well, we sold a bunch of houses this year, and we were able to do this and that. And the one guy says, well, who's we? And I'm like, well, it's me. And he's like, well, why do you say we? And I said, well, I don't want to sound too proud, like, oh, I did this.
Yeah.
So there's this conflict that I always get that I don't want to take the credit,
Right.
because I don't want to sound prideful.
Sure.
But in all reality, I am being prideful by not saying, oh no, I did this work and this is kind of what happened.
Reverse pride.
We've talked about that
Yeah.
before.
Oh, I know that you deal with this.
Yeah.
You're weird with that.
I'm weird. I don't know anybody that has ever admitted
Neither
that
have
to
I.
me.
You'd rather fail than see someone else fail.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know.
I'd rather lose a card game than watch you have a tantrum because you lost.
I would have a tantrum if I lost.
I know people like that. They just don't like to lose. And I'm
No,
like,
yeah, that's
okay,
me.
somebody's going to lose at the table. I'll do it. I don't care.
And we're total opposites in that.
My wife's the same way. We play cards.
I don't get it.
She doesn't lose. But anyway.
No.
I thought it was good. Pride. There's nothing wrong with being proud of your work.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also saying, you know what? But for the grace of God, there go I.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
people will say, how did you stay sober for 46 years or 47? Or how did you stay married for 46 years? I get them mixed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, praise God.
Yeah.
Because I read every book that I could find about how to be married.
Right.
I've made every mistake, and I'm willing to admit it. But I was committed to believing that God was going to fix it. And so, am I proud that I'm married for 46 years? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Am I prideful?
Right.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah. Yes.
I got a lot more to go.
Oh, we all do. We'll never all get there. We'll never be perfect, but we can be excellent.
But humility is saying, yeah, and it certainly hasn't been perfect.
Yeah. It's okay. It's fine. You don't need to be. It's fine. It's okay. You're all good.
Yeah.
That's humility, is surrender it to God, because he can do infinitely more with whatever it is than you can. And it's hard sometimes feeling like I'm belittling myself. It's like, once you get over that initial, I feel like I'm belittling myself, you'll realize some of the strongest people actually admit that they need help.
So what would be a prayer for someone that's made it through this whole podcast?
Yeah.
What would be a prayer for them to say, God, I don't know if I have a pride problem or a humility problem? What would be a good prayer for them?
I would, yes, pray, but I would meditate on 1 Peter 5 verses 6 and 7. I like those two verses. Like, meditating mean, like, think over it, read it, reread it, think about it, read it like word for word, and then pray like, God, where am I? And what are you doing in me? Because a lot of the times, sometimes we're trying to figure our own lives and manage our own, anxieties, fears, anger, all those things, when really it just takes the humility of casting it on God and saying, God, you're bigger than me. In humility, I'm going to get on my knees and admit that you can do better than I could. So I would ask God, pray, what are some things that you need to surrender, and meditate on, again, 1 Peter 5, verses 6 and 7. That's what I would do.
Okay. So ask God. God, I don't know how to do this. I just don't know how to be humble.
Yeah.
I don't know how to be.
Show me how to be humble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me how to do it. And he will.
And he will humble you.
He will.
He will humble you that week.
Or ask your good friend.
Yeah.
Or your spouse. Don't ask your spouse. You
don't want to do all that, no. Or you could email us.
You can email us.
We have the email in the description. You could always email.
All right.
See you next week.
All right. Thank you.
Peace.